Welcome to Surf Dudes with Attitude, a podcast about California dreams. We are. This is a special episode. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we're all in the same room together. This is there's an analogy here for the meeting of both worlds. This is like Spider-Man, No Way Home. We have all the Peter Parkers here today. We have James and we have Zac. Hello.
Hello. Hello. It's good to be here.
Welcome back, Zac.
Thank you.
Not only back on the podcast, but back in New York City, which
The New Year's.
yeah, we think this is his first time in Queens, actually. So
We're going to say it. This is my first time in Queens.
This is your first time in Queens.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you going to get Greek food?
I think I'm going to have to.
I think,
Yeah,
Zac is up here for a very short amount of time, so we're trying to jam pack an entire like Ellis Island trip worth of stuff into like a day and a half.
Aren't you? You're going to a show, right?
Yes, I am.
What show's that?
At Cabaret.
I thought you're on the red carpet right now.
Yeah. Cabaret.
Who are you wearing right now?
You know what? Normally I wear outfits
Yes.
that match the characters
Sure.
of the show. And I did not watch this episode until I was already on the plane. I watched it on the plane.
I did tell him
About
very
an
last
hour ago.
minute we were doing this, so
That's like the bare minimum of preparation. I love that.
Yeah. I saw it. And
I don't know how we got this together, actually.
it's pretty miraculous.
We're doing it.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Hmm.
I watched it moments before I left.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. I really
Yeah.
appreciate the bare minimum of setup here. And I want to hear more about the show, though, honestly, because it's Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. I feel like if you could say that 5 times fast.
Cabaret, Kit Kat Club, Cabaret, Kit Kat Club, Cabaret, Kit Kat Club, Cabaret, Kit Kat Club, Cabaret, at the Kit Kat Club.
I knew it wasn't. This was gonna happen.
I got cocky.
What's why are you coming up to? They don't have shows like that in Nashville.
They got nothing like that in Nashville. I'll tell you, they got other stuff, but not that. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. Orville Peck is playing the MC. One of my favorite musicians. So it's good. And then I wanted to see Peat. And yeah, this was a surprise, James.
Triple dip.
I mean, come on.
James, you're far down on the list, but still on the list. That's what counts. I told Zac that I'd also seen Cabaret recently, and I had no idea what it was about. And out of the blue, there were Nazis everywhere.
Yes. Thought he was just going to a cabaret show.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, dancers.
Yeah.
The like. And it was a full on play, it turns out.
Yes.
With Nazis.
With Nazis.
Yeah.
And gay people.
It's quite a combination. You know sparks are going to fly.
I'm really glad you're getting to see it. It's going to be a great time for you. And Zac's going to be staying here. And we're like, hey, Zac's coming up. Let's just make him go to work and do an episode of California Dreams. Zac,
I'm going to be staying right here.
you literally where we're
right
staying right
here.
now. You are just going to sleep on this Army barracks table. This is it.
This table's going to collapse.
This could be tighter.
The
Zac,
table is going to collapse if we breathe on her.
Come on, I'm a little guy.
the pachyderm in the cupboard is that you have not been here since the end of season 2. And James has kind of taken over for you, but you had always said you're going to come back. You threatened it. And here you are fulfilling that promise in person. So have you missed California Dreams? Have you thought about it? How much have you thought about it? And do you regret your decision to leave? Everything makes sense.
You know, I will say as I was watching the episode, because you texted me last night, you're like, by the way, we're doing an episode.
18 times.
Watch it on the plane. And you're like, also sorry in advance. And whenever you give an apology about an episode, I know it's going to be a rough one.
Yeah.
And I think my tolerance, I'm less exhausted from seeing so many in a row.
Sure.
So it wasn't that bad.
He gives you a fucking heads up.
Yeah.
I gave him a heads up before I saw the episode because I remember we were describing what the episode was about to you last week. And we were both like, oof, this sounds like it's going to be bad. Just because the title, Winkle, Wicks World, is that right? Yeah,
Sure.
which came out November 12th, 1994. We're like, this sounds like dog shit. And so I apologized in advance. And then I watched the episode and I felt like I needed to send another apology. So you might be getting a postcard in 3 to 4 days.
I look forward to it. How are you doing, James?
I mean,
with this season,
this show is hard. It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's there's like so many elements of 90s nostalgia that I just fucking hate
Mhm.
that are like oozing.
You
from
would
this
shut
show.
the door on all.
Yeah. I mean, I really wouldn't give this a chance if there wasn't a show, if there wasn't this show that we were talking about it. But I must say, and I'm sure Pete can reaffirm this here, the show's kind of growing on me. So, like this season, okay, compared to the other episodes I saw, the season definitely has evolved. And even this episode, I found there to be many funny elements
Wow.
in this episode.
It's melting him in real time. And I thought you were the voice of optimism on the show.
Yeah,
Turns
it
out
is
I'm-
strange how
I'm just a husk human being having seen all
Yeah.
this and having to do this again.
I think maybe I started more optimistic. And so since you started out not that way, there was only one direction to go.
Well, it's kind of how I live my life. I set the bar so low
Yeah.
that if anything goes just slightly above that bar,
Hopscotch right over there.
I'm winning, right?
It
My
takes
bar
a-
is so low.
It takes a village to watch this show.
Yeah.
I'm the constant, apparently.
Yeah. You need to kill all expectations.
George hasn't even been on every episode. I'm the only one that has seen every single episode, unfortunately.
It's serious commitment. It's serious commitment. And I think it's also kind of funny how like now you have either become ingratiated to some of the stars of that show or hated by some of the
Yes.
stars.
Yes, we talked about that last
Yeah.
week too, where we are still having difficulties getting some of these people on the show, which is crazy because like who else is doing a weekly podcast devoted to the show? You think they would jump at it, but
Well, just say that question again. Who else is doing a podcast on this show? It's just if it's just us, I understand their hesitation, but yeah.
well, we're here to talk about it. We are firmly halfway through season 3, which is fucking crazy, which means we're halfway through the entire series. So we are over the hill.
Wow.
Think about it, man.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into it, but you should know that since your absence, we have not come up with the catchphrase yet because the Let's Do It was Matt Garrison. And now it's been a weekly debate on what the new catchphrase should be.
I don't think there's been a debate. I think it's pretty unanimous. It's Favu.
Opposite of unanimous. We had a couple contenders in this episode, which we will talk about. But
Is he saying Vavoom?
Oh, I say Favu. I don't say
there's
Favu.
one episode where he says Bob
says
because he talks
Babu.
about like a car. So it's fun.
It's
Okay.
better than Babu.
Anyway, before we get into it, we are Surf Dudes with Attitude, a podcast about California dreams. If you have any questions or comments, surfdudeswithattitude@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, I guess. Give the show a shout out, write a review. It's really helpful. Without further ado, you want to get into it?
Kick it off.
Yeah.
Lights, camera, Baboom.
Oh yeah. See how well that worked.
I hate
See how well that
We're on one mic, but I can't cut any of this out. Like you just have to keep going. We're gonna do it. So yeah, Winkle Wicks World, episode 9 of season 3. Did you notice anything about the intro, Zach? Since you have not seen it in a while.
Yeah, Matt's not singing on it.
Exactly.
That's different.
You know what's great? The guy who is singing, we had on as a special guest. He does all of Mark's voice, and not only that, he's in Jerry Cantrell's band.
He was in
Jerry
Cantrell's band.
Corey
He's in
Taylor's
Corey
band.
Taylor's band.
Zachary Throne. He's
legit
better
shredder.
Zachary since who left. He was
Okay.
it was such a fun episode.
Okay, take it easy. Wait till I leave.
But he gives the insight. So when you hear surf, like it's such a different timbre. That's
Absolutely.
Zachary Throne. And so every time Mark is singing on screen, it's Zachary Throne that's actually singing.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that threw me. I've only heard it one time, and I'm not used to it.
not been a
Good job, Zachary.
He did a great job.
Yeah, the torch.
Yeah, it's
your
really
name.
good.
It's an improvement.
Yeah, it's good.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, all right. It just doesn't seem that's what you said.
No, it's really good.
He
You're-
said, but he said because he's been on SpongeBob. He was on a shitload of stuff that we like went through his whole
Discog, yeah.
yeah. And basically, if you heard singing in the '90s, there's like a 40% chance on a TV show that was him.
So he might be the most successful person
Sure,
out of that show.
Without a question. Yeah.
yeah, talented too.
It's great.
It still works. I was watching,
still
I
does
was scrolling and I saw a video. I can't remember if it was on TikTok or Reels, but it was of Corey Taylor's band and they cut over it and there he was.
Yeah,
He's like still doing it.
he's still like crazy metalhead, you know. But he's so sweet. This is like his girlfriend was making him up so he looked nice on camera for us. It was adorable, you know.
Nice.
So that episode's coming out. Everyone, stay tuned for that. This is like the only people that want to talk to us about the show. They did like 2 days of work 30 years ago. We're like, hey, want to talk about it?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to start this episode in the only classroom, I think, in PCH High, right? It's television class, which of course
is a new thing.
you and I went to in public school. We had a television class.
Definitely.
Zach did not, since he's homeschooled.
You had television class?
Well, okay, so here's what's weird is that I did
You probably
I
did.
I did have like a multimedia class, but it was like outside of school. I still got credit for it, but I had to physically leave my school to go to this other
Did you have to
place.
drive there?
I couldn't drive, so I took a ride, but yeah,
Okay.
you had to like find your way down there.
It's like a VOTEC situation.
Kind of, they called them in Nebraska, they called them focus programs.
Okay.
So like there
If you
was
don't want to be
one-
a farmer, this is the only.
Well, they had that too, but then they had one for if you wanted to be like somebody who was into visual art, and then they had one that the tech focus program, and the tech focus program did like we made PSAs and stuff for the public school. All I'm saying is that this was incredibly niche, and they were like that didn't even really survive that long. I guess that was a thing in the 90s. You had a television class. I don't understand how this again is the first time we're hearing about it, but because there is no continuity on the show.
Yeah, it's just because of the plot. We definitely had a class where you could learn about multimedia, and then your job basically was to do the morning announcements. And
Yeah, that's the
it
same
was like
thing, yeah.
porn quality, looked terrible. Like the class clown got to be the newscaster kind of thing. And they were just talking about random shit going on at school. So this is not totally far off. The fact that they brought in like an actual scout for TV
That was
programming.
ridiculous.
That never happened to you.
No.
We never got a big break. This is as close as we're getting to a multimedia career. So
We made our own TV.
We sure did.
you guys didn't learn about any multimedia in homeschooling?
No. My best friend,
Some middle-
Ryan, who I'm still friends with to this day. I saw him 2 days.
He's always bragging about
Yeah.
his friend Ryan.
He's everywhere. No, he did all of our music videos.
Yeah.
As well. But he got a camera when he was a kid, and I was a kid too. We're about the same age.
Because you're friends, right?
We're friends. We know that time.
We're totally actually really friends. He's
Yeah.
just a real person that exists.
Absolutely. I can say his last name. How long? He should be on the podcast. He'd hate it. We made little movies with his camera.
Yeah.
So that was pretty close.
That's close enough.
Does
You know,
that count?
It wasn't accredited, but I guess it counts.
No, our parents
Appreciate the
didn't
story.
mind it though.
It's okay.
And they were
Your
our
teachers.
teachers.
They were your teachers.
And
and your
they thought it
janitors.
was cool we were being creative.
Technically that works.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, this whole show, this episode.
So this classroom makes sense. Got it.
Anyway, so the really British teacher is talking like TV is like this very high
Window
art,
to the soul.
the window to the soul, but then as some of the kids start cracking jokes, he calls it the boob tube. What was the other one?
the idiot box.
The idiot box. Yeah.
That's British teacher, by the way, from Long Island, New York.
I could tell because his accent was pretty bad.
Was all over the place.
It was
Whoa.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Because Mr. Belvedere was in a recent episode, an actual British person. So
Wow.
Yeah, you can really tell the quality of his accent was just
That's
much higher.
Exciting.
But anyway, so they have to pair up, and of course, Sly and Tony,
speaking of class clowns,
they pair up. They feel like it's going to be super easy for them to make great a TV show. But then we cut to them at
Sharkies.
Sharky's,
It took James about 3 episodes to remember what the cool hangout was that they're always at.
This is the 9th episode, and you paused pretty long.
You did.
So you filled that in.
Well, it's because literally everything happened with Sharkey.
complete each other's sentences.
I can't tell. I can't tell if it's a fucking community center, a campus
Since
restaurant.
Zach left, he's had the
I'm-
same burning questions. And we don't know if Tony's working that day. We do know that they moved the table out of the way just so they could litter.
They're making a huge
Kids everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense why they're doing that.
But this place really does evolve. I mean, I don't want to spoil the rest of the episode, but whoa, it looks transformed.
It is
For the last-
transformed.
Yeah.
Sharkies?
Yeah, right. Again, that's
Finleys.
why I'm confused because I can't tell if it's the same place or if it's a multi-purpose space that continues to evolve.
I kind of love that. We had last episode, they were not only outside, but they went to a ski chalet in Colorado. Ooh, what?
He should have done that one. I'm
Zach,
from Colorado.
Can you come back?
Apparently, they go back there. So
They do at some point. At least in my brain, they go back there. But
in the
We-
first
we
example,
thought
of
that-
continuity.
yeah, we thought that their lounge area was a makeshift Sharky's, but we actually think they're using the bedroom set or the living room set, if you remember, because it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so big. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So we think that some tomfoolery was going on there, but we got multiple outside shots in the last episode. There was a Yeti.
What?
If timing worked out better, that one would have been
Oh.
better. But you're stuck with this one. So
It was old man. What was his name?
Old Man Guffrey.
Old man Guthrie.
Scooby Doo.
That's exactly what I said for the entirety of that last episode.
Good. So they're at Sharky's. They can't come up with an idea. The rest of the gang has come up with their ideas very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I guess there's some kind of cops
There's a
thing
cop
that
spoof,
that Jake is all about, and then
A Mr. Rogers.
there's some Mr. Rogers, and we see all this stuff later that we really don't have to talk about since we just referenced. But the important part here is that Sly and Tony they're not coalescing. They're not figuring out what to do. And then a hot girl walks by, and then Sly says Tony's catchphrase. He says, "Goo-can-oo."
And Tony doesn't say it. And then his girlfriend is like,
Super progressive.
it's okay. Go ahead and say it. And then Tiffany, right? Tiffany goes, that's so strange that you're okay with him ogling another woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony's girlfriend says,
Do you remember it?
I'm trying to remember. It's like, it's the bubble. I don't care where the bubbles come from as long as it's steamy back home.
That's close
pretty
enough.
close.
Yeah, it's
Bring
pretty
it back
close.
home, right?
Yeah. And none of that makes sense to me. First,
Well, it reminded me of the saying that I've heard from similar types of relationships. None that I've.
It's Sam is a cut queen. She's
Yeah.
very progressive in this relationship. What is the same?
It's much more suggestive.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter where you charge your battery as long as you empty it at home.
Oh,
wow.
that's basically exactly what she
It's
said.
the same
that is-
thing.
But
but less.
somehow
Specifically.
Far
That's
more
why
graphic than
they
this.
are a healthy couple. Whereas everything that Jake has touched is a toxic relationship.
Yeah, okay. Tony and Sam are dating now. That's
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
happened
that's-
quickly. There was maybe 1 or 2 kissy poos that we've seen so far,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't a big to do the way that all Jake's relationships have been. It's always like a focal point about Jake getting into a relationship. So he's technically, even though it's not really referenced in this episode, if I'm not mistaken, but he's with Lorena at this point.
Jake is?
Yeah.
supposedly.
The last
Okay.
episode,
Could fool me.
it was mentioned, but this episode it's not. So it's kind of like when him and Tiffany were together. Only when the plot calls for it are they a couple.
Okay.
Just catching you up.
Similar. No, thank you.
Missed a lot.
I know. I blinked and it happened.
And there's very little continuity in this show in general. So
Right.
it's hard to keep
They
up.
haven't talked once about the Yeti incident from last week's episode.
That seems like something that would stick with you.
For sure.
Well, it was Scooby Doo, right?
This is not an
It's
actual.
another Scooby.
There was no actual
What happened,
cryptozoology.
what happened was old man Guthrie was just taking dumps on the season.
Yikes.
So I can see why they don't want to talk.
Yeah, he couldn't do it in his normal.
Anyways, so Googamoo, Tony and Sly are having a problem coming up with their own idea for a show. this little Googamoo moment happens, and what did Sam suggest? It was Sam that suggested, like, oh, you should just do a show about being Googamoo.
She said something like, "You're the Goo Moo guys," and then that was when the light bulb moment happened. That this is what we should do. Now, I don't know how that moment transferred to being a 1-for-1 ripoff of Wayne's World, right?
Yeah, that was
I
definitely.
do not understand the format of this proposed show. Now, I can see for a school project, yes, you would have to have like a 75-second segment kind of thing. But the fact that this gets optioned later, spoiler alert, is insane to me that they don't even
Well, you know, it was an exciting time in broadcasting. They were really trying things out. I mean, even look at Wayne's World. Look at how Wayne's.
Do you know what
You know,
the pandemonium would happen if any three assholes are just allowed to start whatever show they want?
it's called public access television.
It's
Have you
called
ever watched it?
podcasting as well.
Well, yeah, that's what this has become. So, yeah, you know, the Wayne's World nod there is pretty serious, but when you think about it, like, this took me a second because I was like, why the fuck is this the Wayne's World set? But then I
It is
realized
the Wayne's World.
it is for sure.
It is legitimate.
But yeah, it is for, like, Mike Myers personally rented it to California Dreams to use. Yeah,
That's not true.
it's not true. I'm just saying. But basically all the other
It's in a
shows,
basement.
all the shows were spoofs.
Yeah,
They,
but
they were all
fact is,
spoofs.
and
There had to be a spoof.
This is jumping ahead a little bit, but the fact that this is referenced, Jake says this is just a rip.
I was
Yeah,
surprised.
I was so surprised.
That
Yeah.
was
So at least they're being tongue in cheek and they're being meta about it. Like, oh, okay, this is just kind of a goof that we're just knocking this off. But do we want to talk about the other shows? Because they're so inconsequential.
Yes, we do. And there's one point that I have to make. I think it's hilarious that Tiffany starts a Mr. Rogers show where she's supposed to be like the Mr. Rogers of the beach, right?
Yes.
But she's like the most emotionally unstable out of all of it.
Yes.
Like, she's the one who is about to boil over with rage at any moment.
That's my only note for this. Tim has unbridled rage inside.
She is like the one person who is going to snap and kill someone. So the fact that, I mean, it kind of plays into that old theory that, like, Mr. Rogers wore long sleeves because he had like
Tons of tattoos. I heard this
tattoos
rumor.
from the Nom years. That's not real. He did not. But that would be sick if it were the case. And I find that, you know, correlation there. Like, Tiffany still has Nom level rage because of how
Maybe
she was treated. Yeah, who knows? Like, this goes deep. These waters run deep. And the fact that she chooses a Mr. Rogers show, I think, is friggin' hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious. It was clever for high school.
And the stoner beach guy's like, oh, where's the package? When she said, can you say burnout?
The fact that it's
hilarious.
Mark
It was great.
upsetting.
And Mark, I know nothing about Mark except for this episode.
Oh shit, that's right.
I don't know about this. Like, I know he's
Mark
part of
is
things.
Sly's cousin, and he joined the band because he is what, a songwriting genius, prodigy, because he played. She'll be coming around the mountain at Carnegie Hall when he was 12 years old.
But Sly,
what?
we don't have time to get into fucking Mark fucking origin story. Okay,
Mark is not a good character.
Oh, you don't like.
They just kind of transferred all of Matt's tendencies to be opaque and not really have a personality toward the end of his tenure to Mark. He's kind of shy.
He's there.
He's fragile.
He's physically there.
He plays keyboard. So now there are 2 keyboards in the band. Try to keep up. You know.
Wow.
And Jake is the guitarist, obviously. The only other continuity you maybe need to know is that finally, speaking of Tiff, they referenced that Jake broke up with Tiff. The only time they referenced that they were together was Lorena was asking advice about how to kind of get through to Jake, and Tiff's like, well, he saw me with another guy and dumped me. So, because that's like the last thing you saw. And I want you to know that they did close that loop.
And Tiffany is still repressing the rage.
Yes. For deadbeat months.
It's gonna
happen.
It's gonna all over. Yeah.
So,
Lorena and Jake dated too?
They
They're
are supposedly currently
Jake.
dating.
yeah, that's
You said that. Okay.
Okay, so, but I will have to say
Okay.
this. I thought the cop spoof was hilarious.
okay.
Cop spoof was
My
hilarious.
note was like,
At least it wasn't a dream sequence. Okay, Pete, it
It's
wasn't
so
a dream
close to being a
sequence.
dream.
It was, but
It's
it
a dream
wasn't.
sequence without a pink border around. That
That is true. That is the only difference.
Like they all sold it, but
Which is the
my,
only
my
difference.
only note was like, did I find this funny as a kid?
Yes, you did.
I think maybe I did.
You 100%.
Because I thought like they're referencing something I knew.
Yeah.
You reference something that like I've seen ancillarily, thought it was the most hilarious thing. I remember when Tiny Toons referenced the Grateful Dead. I was like, look at that. Like the Leo meme. That was me. Because I was like, that's hilarious because I get it. So the cops thing, sure, fine. I'll let it go.
Will you?
I did not get an
You
LED.
didn't like it.
I got one during this episode, which we'll talk about, but it didn't happen there. So Cops is still around, if I'm not mistaken. They're at something like 2,000 episodes at this point.
Whatever.
But his hall monitors.
It was
still
all
on.
honored.
Yeah. His hall
The
monitors
song,
still-
the
It
song,
didn't
the
get
hall
off.
monitor song was pretty.
Dude, I thought all of the spoofs from that were, I think, relevant. They were certainly relevant at that time, and they were, better than a dream.
We get spoofs now instead of musical performances, Zach.
Yeah. Okay. That was one of the notes I made when the hall monitor song was going on. I was like, this is the only music we're going to get.
I
This is
thought the
very-
Green Acres singing was going to be
Just
the
the-
only
yeah.
music that we get. We did get some at the
Oh,
end,
yeah.
but like
We did.
it's some cringy shit.
Well, anyways, moving on. So we see the spoofs. The spoofs are hilarious, and then we basically go back to we go back to the television class where I guess this is like them showing all of the spoofs, and nobody noticed, but a big time TV executive from the local TV show snuck into the high school children's
Well,
classroom.
he was invited by the
excited.
fake
Okay.
British teacher
Yeah, right.
just to
right.
give them kind of worldly advice. But this is after the teacher said, you fail. Like this
Hated.
is terrible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Guys.
right. He's
But
like,
even he's teaching multimedia. Shouldn't he at least be like, there's an audience for this? It's not good, but it was
teachers were different.
what it was done.
That's right. Especially
It was
for
done
Brit-
concisely and quick and efficient, though. Like if that's a TV project, I have to at least give it a passing grade, right? I don't agree with the subject matter.
Right. But giving an F, that's a little extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it deserved it.
Well, it was extreme times.
I reckon so.
I just love the idea that the TV exec is like, we're going. This is going to be on Nielsen's rating. We are going to record on this.
Okay, so I had one problem with that.
Just one.
This TV executive,
Yeah.
is going to give these young kids the show where basically they just ogle other young kids.
There's basic bitch, unless all the women are of age and they
I don't
all
I
adhere to
don't think-
section 2257 of the penal code.
Yeah, I don't think they would. I don't think they would because these are just high school guys.
So are they 17? Do they need parental permission to be on this show? Are we missing a scene with permission slip?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Because they have to be 17,
Absolutely.
even though they look 30.
They're for sure 30.
And Sly's outfits on this, oversized, everything, it makes him look even older.
He was 20 in the 80s, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang, you're probably right.
Yeah,
actually.
for sure. You can tell. You can tell. So they get this TV show, and is that where did they have to immediately stop being in the band, or was that something that they did the
No,
pilot
after the pilot is recorded, which I should say, they already have merch. You know, they bring out the mugs. Now, did they call them Goo Goo Mugs, or did they just say? Did they say that because it's a missed opportunity if they did? I mean, they had mugs that say.
Googa Moo? Yeah, I can't remember. I think they just said mugs, but you're right. It was a missed opportunity.
You don't seem as upset about this. As
I'm
I am.
not. I'm not.
Well, they did the other little place with the Google monitor. Google monitor? What was it? The heat thermometer thing.
Everybody got
There's a
10s,
play on the
though.
Google Move.
There's no
So the
dynamics
Google
there.
Moves, it absolutely. I'm sure they called them Google Moves.
But they had so many references in this scene. Like so many 90s references, I could not even write them all down. And it was just
Yeah, but see,
tiresome.
they're not 90s references because at that time it just
Right.
would have
They
been
were just
modern pop culture references.
Whoa!
They're dated now because it was 30 years ago,
Uh,
but when it was happening,
You don't think
like-
they knew? I
like
don't think they knew they were making 90s.
yeah, my favorite. No, they did not have that foresight with this show for sure. One of my favorite references, we'll get to it at the end, but it's the Smashing Pumpkins.
They should say that, yeah.
Just remind me to bring that up because it is hilarious.
Okay. Well, why don't you just talk about it now?
Oh, okay, all right. So at the very end, but we're gonna spoil.
Okay, all right, fine. Well,
When we get there, yeah.
So this is a hit before it even goes to. My question was,
They loved it.
because later as they're filming, they're like, go to commercial. Is this live? Are they shooting this as
guess,
if it's
yeah.
live?
Yes.
So is this during the day? Is this late
Yes.
night? But all just yes.
yes.
The band is there. They see it. Ratings are through the roof, I guess. And then they're like, we want to take this full time or something. And they're like, Jake's like, well, what about the dreams?
What about the dreams? They got to take a hiatus.
They immediately were like, we're going on maternity leave. We're doing a sabbatical.
Mm.
A leave of absence from the band, which is insane to me. They're not quitting school. They're just quitting their after school band.
What I don't understand is why the rest of the band wasn't really upset about it at all.
But they have no gigs booked right now. So why are they like, well, we got to get a replacement for Tony and we got to get another manager, you know? If they had a bunch of gigs on the books, then it wouldn't be a lot to do. Have a throwaway line like, well,
It's the fucking dreams. They've always got gigs on the books.
but they don't. That's the whole point of the plot is that they don't have it and they have to get a new manager.
Well,
and
then that answers it.
Lorena comes in and who just booked them a residency at a ski chalet with airfare
For 1 weekend.
the week before.
Yeah.
She did
Is
that?
that a resident?
Yeah, since her dad's.
Dad's.
So she's already been
She's a-
booking. She's been managing them.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
That loft that you see, that's where they live and practice.
She's
now.
running the show, really.
Whoa.
Because the Garrison family.
Slide
Wait.
just ornamental.
He's a figurehead
Boy.
of the streams.o. Well, good, because he has this new gig coming up where he's a television personality. It quickly goes to his head. Okay.
Oh, no. Sly?
So they're taking a leave of absence. And then, so we're going to go back to Sharky's. This is where Jake finally kind of makes fun of, this is just a Wayne's World ripoff. And he's like, how popular could it be? And apparently, in pure California Dreams fashion, as soon as they walk in, everybody fucking loves them. And they say the catchphrase, good, which I do not want to make that.
That has to be our catchphrase. That has to be our
It's
catchphrase. I'm
not.
just going to start saying it. If you say it enough, it just becomes the catchphrase.
The catchphrase.
So, Google Moo.
So Lorraine is like, there's a gig. I don't know if you guys are good for it. I don't know if it's the right fit. She's like, it's a classy thing. And then out of character for all of them, they're all uncouth all of a sudden. Jake eats with his mouth full.
That was fun. That
Sam
was a fun
is
moment.
clipping her nails.
Tiffany rips
Belton.
a hilariously large burp.
It seemed, was it real? Was it dubbed?
Oh, it was real.
It seemed real.
It was real.
Not like her bass playing.
You
The
can
burps
see
are
you
real.
can
The
see
burps
her
are
like
real.
you can see her go like swallow the air like
Yeah.
How
it
many
was real.
takes did she?
Like she knows how to burp.
well, she's repressing so much rage.
I
It
thought
probably,
it was some kind of demon inside her.
exactly. It probably wouldn't.
One and done.
Yeah.
So this gig that this historical society, what was it called? Like,
That's you just said it. The
It
the
is?
Historical Society Gala at
So-
Sharky's.
it's not mentioned that it's at
stupid as that is.
Sharky's yet, which is great. But I was like, when is this gig? Like, they have this gig and they just haven't booked the band last minute. But it looks like it's going to come up within the next day or two, which is what we're used to here. But I do have the fact it's just like at Sharky, I lost my shit. This is a bellow laughter for the episode. Is that like they couldn't get one other thing? They couldn't. I see that they made the waiters wear something nice. That was literally the only thing they kind of done up for the atmosphere.
Yeah. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, was just announcing and learning that it was at Sharky's and everything happens there.
But what other band
So
could do
funny.
it?
It's literally like the town center for that city. I don't.
We're talking
They
about
could-
Los
they-
Angeles.
They could have dressed up the fucking ski lodge just slightly differently. It could have passed that off as some fancy kind of fancy.
Yeah, a VFW, a rec center, literally anything.
Literally anything.
It could have been a quinceanera, a cotillion, if you will. But the historical society at Sharky's, I really thought that there was going to be a gag here that these stuffy people just wanted a rock band. But because we wasted all this fucking time on all these non-dream-like sequences, we don't even get the punchline there. Does that upset anybody else to the core?
I mean, I was expecting them at the end, especially when Tony and Sly make up. I was expecting them to be like, all right, let's get the band back together.
Yeah.
We're going to rock this place. But I was also not shocked we didn't get that. But we are skipping. We're skipping the most important part, which is the degradation of the friendship of Sly and Tony. So as the show reaches new heights in popularity, getting like 12, 13, 14 people watching, they start to get like the ego like goes a little bit to their head, and they like the school newspaper guy rushes in. He's like, extra, extra, I'm gonna write an article about you. Let me ask you about the Googamoo show. And the kids are like, and Sly and Tony just sit down and basically he asks, who came up with the idea? And they're both like, well, I did. And they get in a little argument. And then they basically, the hatred. What I don't understand is if they're such good friends, how quickly they're brought to such hatred.
Well, because we have to skip around. We have to have a plot. I did want to. Yes.
So you think maybe we're not seeing it in real time, but they're just taking.
This is again the vortex of California
story.
Dreams. We do not know how much time has elapsed, so we don't know. I will say during this scene, and I'm glad you reminded me. I think this is the first transition scene in California Dreams history, because they were out in the hallway, and then the bell rings, and they go into the classroom. It's like Hitchcock rope, one take. Okay, so I was very impressed. So I was prepped for that next scene when the journalist came in. School newspaper. This was my one laugh per episode. Okay, no, I don't know if you guys are surprised about that. I have joy on the inside sometimes too, and this made me laugh. Anyway, his first question makes Tony and Sly fight, and then they get into a big fight, and then he's like, "Okay, next question," like completely unfazed. Genuine. That's all. I hate when you're just pointing the mic at me.
What do you have to say about that?
That was a good bit. It was pretty good. I didn't laugh. I was also watching this on a plane, and some teenager was sleeping next to me.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do respect. Otherwise, I would have been. I would have been
knee slapping.
Absolutely.
Slapping his knee.
Absolutely. Wake up. You got to see this.
But I think James is correct. James is correct where their friendship deteriorates. And Sly had a funny line here where he was like, "I'm not egotistical. I just think I'm better than everyone." That was good. Which is again psychopath behavior from him.
Stunning self-awareness.
It's true. And then so we're gonna jump to the actual the second taping of the show. They've had a successful pilot. And now it's time to get
like 12, 13 people tuned in.
Yeah, there's dozens of us. Dozens. Yeah. And Sly and Tony are having a flare up because Tony wants to do Goo Goo Gladiators. Is that
Tony wants to do Goo Goo Gladiators, and Sly wants to do
Babe of the Week or
Babe
something?
of the Week or some dumb thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand why you can't do both, but when you have a 75-second show, it has to get cut. I think our show would be better if we cut it down to 75 seconds of just the best shit.
The whole thing is just the clips. Yeah.
And
perfect.
commercials that
It's
are like
so easy.
5
At
seconds
least.
long.
Yeah, at least.
Did you? Yeah, when they cut. So they get into a fight on air.
So they have a catchphrase throughout this whole episode. Instead of saying swing, they say switch, right?
Yes.
But then at some point, Tony is like, chili. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I want that to be our catchphrase. I mean, because it's big.
Well, I can't because it's Googamoo.
I thought it was Vavoom.
Whatever.
It's not chili.
It's not chili, is what I'm saying. Okay.
So at this point, they start fighting, and then they're like, quick, go to commercial. So ergo, this is live. So how many people are potentially watching this right now?
Like 12, 13 people.
Okay. But Baker's dozen.
Yeah.
Those are the only people that saw this.
For ratings back then,
It was like Bud Dwyer killing himself.
Yeah.
There's no
for sure.
footage of it.
Well, there's video of that. It's just you have to go to different websites for it. But Yeah, the deterioration of this show and their friendship was very fast, and it honestly just doesn't make sense because even in 75 seconds, they could have done both of those stupid little bits they wanted to do. And Tony wanted to do like Googaloo Wrestling,
But
with who?
yes,
Him and Sly?
it was
What
only
was gonna happen
part
there?
of the time as well. So who are you fighting?
Doesn't make sense. Too many plot holes.
So we go back to the school. I had one thought about this, and I was channeling you, Zach.
Oh.
As they're, I guess, still fighting. They're standing next to each other. The gang is trying to get them back together.
This that was fun.
They are wearing the exact same belt. Exactly the same.
I didn't notice.
Yeah. And if James had his computer, we could look this up right now.
I got
We
my
can look it
phone.
up on the phone.
It'll
Yes,
be
the episode
small.
pulled up.
Okay. Well, I noticed. I normally do not notice stuff like that.
I have to say though, at this point, my favorite laugh per episode. My laugh per episode was that gag was hilarious.
They are the same belt.
So, it's. Do you think? It's almost the same belt as Zach right now. If you can't see it. Do you think that is showing that they're deep down the same person and you have to put these zippers?
Ooh.
They both put their pants on the same way.
That's deep. That is deep.
Just it does look a lot like your belt you're wearing right
It
now.
looks. Oh, I guess I did dress in costume.
You did.
Wow.
I
Very
did.
subversive.
I
10 for 10.
it was all building up to this.
Okay, so we got the coup de grace. The coup de grace,
Oh,
as Sly would say.
So many goddamn thoughts here.
We're going to Sharky's for the Historical Society show. And I don't know what.
Yeah, like they raised.
What were they doing before?
they're-
Was it a fundraiser?
They're trying to raise money. They raised like $12, $13 like, at least at Sharky's. Like, did you see all of those ritzy older alumni that came back for the
But
Historical
what did they
Society
do?
gala?
Has to be some kind of fundraising gala, right? 'Cause
All galas. are
normally you would put
fundraisers,
like
you know?
paintings there, stuff like an auction situation. But no, it's just you're gonna come here and get burgers and fries. My question is the milkshake machine operational tonight for the Historical Society? Do they have a different menu? Do they bring in a chef? We only see fries being eaten at
If it's a historical society, they wouldn't have milkshakes. That would be
the
historically
milkshake machines
inaccurate.
are there in the background, not being used, and we've seen milkshakes only being served. At
Because in history, they didn't have milkshake machines.
But this is
Have you ever been to a gala?
it's the haughty laugh you were.
That's
the only thing the band learned how to do because they were basically going to finishing school to see how to act like annoying old stuffy rich people, right? And that's all they garner, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing they took away, and they still bummed it.
They really boned it, and I think a big part of that is that Tiff, instead of having a bass, she has a harp, and Tiff can barely play two strings.
Thank
Close
you.
to 80.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
But did you like this rendition?
I
California Dreams theme song. I kind of liked it.
It started as California Dreams, and then it kind of turned into something different, right?
It's pretty much California
Is
Dreams.
It's
It's
for sure.
California
It's-
Dreams.
yeah.
Jake plays flute. He
It-
was playing
I-
melody.
I-
Part
you
was
know,
funny.
I somehow hated it more. And like I knew what it was. First of all, Mark counts it off completely off beat, and then they start playing. It's like they're playing a completely different song.
This is Sans drum.
It's odd tempo, I guess. Yeah, sure. Odd tempo. And that set me off. That really kind of just made me mad. But then I knew immediately what they were trying to do. And then when they cut to fucking Tiffany doing the run on the harp, she can't. You put it. This is exactly the thought I had. She plays one note on the bass
Mhm.
this entire series, and somehow she's picking up a harp and slanging strings.
Yep. And two keyboards still. Sam is still doing this no matter what the beat is. Mark is at least trying. Like, what is he doing as well? So it's really 4 hands worth of keyboards that are needed because there's no vocals.
Well, you have to think they reconstructed the orchestration. So one keyboard is covering certain stringed or trumpet symphonic instruments, and the other keyboard is maybe piano.
So maybe Zach
Fucking,
can maybe help us with this. When Matt left the band, left a big void. He was a big songwriter guy.
Yeah.
Last episode was the first time all season that we saw them play an old song of Matt. And it was the one that
And Mark was singing it instead. He is singing it.
yeah,
Mark was. Okay.
and it was the one that we saw when Jenny leaves the show. So it was that song.
But a sad song.
Maybe.
Was that at the lounge?
Yeah, the Yeti episode.
Yeah. So that was last week. Okay, yeah.
So that is the last thing you saw. But since then, we've seen some new material. Now, do you think it's because Matt, when he left, was like, you guys cannot play my shit, kind of thing? What do you think? You're on the spot.
Yeah, he took it with him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Matt is, again, a Billy Corgan Smashing Pumpkins situation where he owns all the rights and royalties to all the band's music and everyone hates him. So when he leaves, they can't play it.
Yeah.
That's what you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
His band, it was a family band, and then the family got completely ousted.
But they got to keep the name.
They got to keep the name. Well, he didn't name it.
Do you think they paid out to use the name?
Ooh, he did.
And there's a bit of a debate.
Who named the band?
Their little brother.
It was not Dennis.
It was Dennis.
Who the fuck
Who
is
is
He
Dennis?
was not old enough to sign contracts, so it didn't count. Sly takes credit, though.
Who is Dennis?
Dennis is the
It's
little
the
little brother. Then you said, who's Dennis? There's an episode called Where's Dennis? Where Dennis gets lost and then we never see him again.
If only I could find out who Dennis
We wonder
was.
why Dennis.
He's a little shitty brother.
He's a little shitty brother.
Who's
Zach,
brother?
like identify-
Whose brother?
Matt and Jenny's little brother.
Okay,
From the
thank you.
first
Thank you.
season. He was in a handful.
Zach
of
really
episodes.
identifies with him as because he's also a little shitty brother.
I'm a little brother who's shitty.
Get it right, hysterical.
Okay. Hot shot.
Okay, yeah. So I think now is the perfect time to talk about, because you already brought up Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
So this was
Hey,
another
reminder, talk about the Smashing Pumpkins.
this
Hey, James.
this
You got something to say about Smash?
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, this
Okay.
right now. This was the Wayne's World reference was a little too on the nose,
Okay.
and the Smashing Pumpkins was a little too on the nose. I can't remember the exact joke, but he said this crowd is making the Dreams look like the Smashing Pumpkins, right? Or this ambiance.
It's making Barney look like the Smashing.
Oh yeah, seeing Barney look like the Smashing Pumpkins. And I thought that was just, again, a little too on the nose. And it also, it does for scale. Okay. Like seeing the Dreams in this scenario would make, it literally does make Barney, if I were to see Barney live and compared to the Dreams, if I were to see Barney live, I would think that they were the fucking Smashing Pumpkins. But what I think, the funniest part about that to me is that at one time the Smashing Pumpkins were like scary.
Yeah.
That was like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
an edgy thing to say back then because it was like Rat in a Cage era. And I just
Zero
think,
sweatshirt, yeah.
right, exactly.
Uncle Fester head.
I think it's very funny that, you know, by any measurement, they are not like, you know, a heavy or super scary band.
No.
But at that time, it was enough for it to make it. I don't know. I just
Like a huge punchline. I'm like, oh, that
Like,
band.
to me, it's like,
Barney.
yeah, right.
Smashing Pumpkins.
I think Slayer would have been the more appropriate reference, but maybe Slayer
They're
was
not
too
as big then. I'm trying to think
Yeah.
like Marilyn Manson was 94.
Not
was not
quite,
there yet.
yeah.
Because like that would have been the joke, you know. But Smashing Pumpkins, that's an old guy writer thing where he asks his kids, like, what are you listening to right
What do you kids listen to these days?
The Smashing Pumpkins.
That's what they said.
That's what they sound.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how they sound.
Yeah, it would. And I,
Yeah, right. If they were physically smaller, yeah.
it's further away.
Sure, it makes sense. Yeah.
I really thought we'd hear the rest of the song. And as I said earlier, I really thought,
We've heard it a million fucking times. We did.
I thought we'd hear the whole Muzak version. I thought the drums,
too.
but there was no drums there at all.
We
So,
heard
like,
quite a bit of it. It's
That's-
quite a bit of the
it's
song.
most-
we
this-
see
this
it as,
fucking song.
as Jake and Sly are reconciling and realizing that they both, you know, got a little too big in their heads and that's it. So Does that mean the show is canceled because they had this blow up on air, or what? Like, are we ever going to hear about the
The show's canceled. We're never going back to that
For
again.
sure,
That
for
TV
sure.
executive is probably got involved with like Weinstein or something. So we're never going to come back to that. What is going to happen though is at the end of the episode, Sly and Tony make up, and then of course next episode we're going to pretend like none of this ever happened.
Well,
That's usually how it
just
is.
like high school.
It's exactly like high school.
Don't you dare! Don't you
I
dare.
know I don't.
Oh,
You don't know.
it was just like high school. Yeah, you'd get into an argument, and then they'd be like, "Well, I gotta have dinner now with my classmate. Oh,
So that's
it's time for home church."
Stop. Home church was home
Did-
church.
what were you saying?
I don't remember that in high school,
you
but
try. Well, that's the end of the episode. It just ends there, and Tony and Sly leave the establishment, and they leave the Dreams to play this gig. How much do you think this gig paid? Do you think it was a good gig? Because
at least like $12, $13 for sure.
Sly is shitting all over the gig, and I'm like, you've gotten them way worse gigs than this. You're like, a historical society might actually pay well, you know.
I bet it paid decent.
But they had to learn new instruments to play this gig, so a lot of upkeep for this.
It definitely wasn't worth it. But they got paid. You know, like they got paid enough that they said this would be worth it.
But are they
And then they
playing?
did
Are
it.
they playing the gig because they just aren't playing at all, or are they playing the gig because they need money for something?
Why would you play that gig?
I made money. There's no other answer. I've played corporate gigs.
Yeah.
We've been background music. We're instrumental, so we're halfway there to people not listening to us anyway. But you play those gigs for money. You're not playing that for your soul.
Do you adjust your sound at all? Do you
100%.
bring down the
Yes.
the,
Yes.
the grit?
The
Yeah.
grit
Yeah.
goes down.
Grit goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can read the room. I don't know when people don't like us. I'll at least make it more palatable for them. So I'm just kind of curious because Lorena like, I could get you this gig, but it doesn't. She's so sure she can get the gig. She just doesn't know if the Dreams should play it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tony and Sly leave them. You made your bed. Fucking play it.
And they don't need drums for this rendition, which is convenient timing, I would say.
I think the cooler end of the episode is that they jump in and all the stuffy people start rocking out.
100%.
That's a better ending. I was hoping for that. I wasn't shocked.
They
it
did
didn't
not
work.
have
Like,
enough
I
background on the Dreams being like, oh, this is not us. This isn't our feel. It's all about the bullshit Boogaloo guys. I'm upset. I don't like it. Did you guys like this episode?
I think history can be kind of interesting. They shit on that the whole time.
Zac, Historical Society Fable.
You know,
Some wise
they was just like, boo, boring. You know what I mean?
How did it feel to be back? Even for a short glimmer.
I mean, this is fun because it's no, doing it. This is well, it's different than we've
we're
ever
really
done
close
it.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like something old and familiar and yet brand new.
Something borrowed, something new.
Absolutely, and you're wearing blue.
Thank you.
Yeah, it makes the hatred for this show much
A
easier.
little more palatable.
And much easier.
Yeah.
We're all we know physically we're suffering in the same physical space.
Sure.
So yeah.
And we did offer the idea for us to watch a show together, and James flat out was like, "No, I'm not devoting 22 more minutes to hanging out to watch this show."
Really? That's
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So I'll see.
That is hilarious.
It's move all the way in Brooklyn.
Do you wish you hadn't?
I mean, I don't even remember saying that.
I think it works better for content that we haven't talked through it.
Yeah, I think
Waste
that
all
if
this
anything,
prime material in person.
if anything, that would have been the concern because we watched the dinosaurs
We
episode
loved
together.
it. The dinosaurs episode that was such a good episode. But not just fun, but like, damn, this like speaks. This actually has
That show was really good. Yeah.
there's like some social racial commentary in this show. Very good. But now back to a lesser show, California Dreams. Do you both want to confer and guess what the next episode is about? You can mash heads together and we can figure it out together.
What do you think? What do you think this next episode?
Well, what's the title?
Well, we can give you the title. Do we want
Yeah, let's hear
Yeah,
the title.
do we,
something.
before that, do we even bother giving out awards this week? Because
Yeah, okay. So I for sure want to be in a band with Tiffany, because she's got the most unaddressed rage, and that's going to boil over in hilarious ways in the future.
It
And I
sounds
just want to be
dangerous.
around for that. We did the laughs per episode.
Well,
Who
I
got
think-
the worst pantomiming? I think
It's happening with Tiff, right?
Tiff's pretty bad. That just didn't make sense. I honestly,
Nobody's getting.
I felt like her miming of playing the harp was more accurate than her miming of playing the bass. And I'm just genuinely don't like flute, and Jake playing the flute really.
You really don't like the flute.
Really,
You know, like Jethro's doll up there. No.
yeah, seriously.
Whoa.
That's it.
Heavy. I thought Tiffany did okay, but I'm not a harpist. I will admit that. And you know that.
I'm harping on the fact that you're giving any of this any kind of album is terrible.
I don't know if it helps that I saw it on a very small screen.
What did the person next to you on the plane think of the episode?
They kept like waking up and then looking over at my screen, and
They were like, Google.
and they'd be like,
Oh, they laughed like a rent person.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So, do you guys want to guess what the next episode's about? You can work together on this.
I've never won anything.
Okay.
I hope the same for you.
Yeah, that means we're at the end. We're at the end of this one.
This episode 10 of season 3, is called Daddy's Girl. Who's in it? What's it about?
Whose dad are we gonna meet? Or who's a secret father this whole time?
Is it a
Daddy wasn't a brother. He's a son. Okay, so look, it could be Tiffany.
Okay.
Because she's got a whole bunch of problems with her mom. She might be a daddy's girl, right? It could also be about Lorena, because as we knew from the last episode, she does have a strong relationship with her father. Those are my thoughts.
I think I'm with you on it's one of them. And I think it's gonna get in the way of a romance because she's gonna be spending more time listening to what her dad says.
Okay.
Who's not trying to be controlling necessarily, but he is, and he's not used to the fact that his daughter's grown up.
She's
Well,
not a little girl.
And if it's Lorena, maybe this is
Is it
the
Lorraine?
rift
You need to
between-
tell me definitively who this is about.
Okay, well, we each say one.
Okay,
I'll say Lorraine.
I'll say Lorena too.
Okay.
Oh, well, then that's both.
That's
I thought we would be different ones. Okay.
I think we're onto something here because we have the
We
dad.
haven't met her father.
We have the dad in the last episode, and there's gonna have to be some addressing of Jake and her relationship. I think you're pretty close to what it is.
Okay. What we're sticking with?
That's what
I mean,
that's final answer.
Yeah.
Tiffany plays Matthew
God
for,
damn it!
for her dad, but quickly regrets her actions when he starts breaking plans with her to spend all his time with his new girlfriend. Meanwhile, a computer dating program deems Jake and Lorena and Tony and Sam incompatible couples, which causes them to doubt their own relationships.
So the implosion of both relationships and the creation of another lore for
Tiffany
Tiffany's
is making a
range.
new mom, and already her dad is fucking that up.
I'm telling you right now, if this show had continued on, she would have killed somebody.
Absolutely.
Like she would have been involved in the murder of somebody.
There's still 2.5 seasons left. It could possibly still happen. If we see a Yeti, why can't we see a murder? Not out of their
It
own.
could be another
possibility.
Scooby-Doo episode. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I didn't think we'd see Jake playing a flute, but
I
I was
never
wrong about
would've
that.
thought that.
Never.
No way.
Well, we found that he played. Maybe this was this season that he played violin. Remember, he was like shredding on the violin in one episode.
He wasn't.
He was.
He wasn't.
If George was here, he would look this up. Don't you remember?
No, the whole point of what I'm saying is that his pantomimes of everything.
Well, they're terrible, but I'm saying him as a character
Okay.
plays violin.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
He's
like,
a-
you
he's
should've
a
just done
violin
that. You
virtuoso,
could have been
yeah.
yellow card up there, you know? Everybody.
That would have been ahead of its time.
Everybody loves strings and bands, right, guys?
Yeah.
I love when you put orchestra strings and shit that's not supposed to be in the band, right?
You should do it. We all should do it. You should consider it.
Cry. Anyway, my band has too many strings, so we cannot fit any more strings.
Guys, that's season 3, episode 9 of California Dreams. We did it. That is season 3, episode 9 of Surf Dudes with Attitude as well. Ergo, right? We did it. We did it. We're going to be back next week with Daddy's Girl. We're going to be back to digital, I think, unfortunately, but this was a really great time. Thank you for
This was so great. Thanks for being.
Thanks for keeping the
snapping for me.
Yeah, for sure.
This is really
Yeah, because you're sitting on a exercise bench.
That is where I sat and
James
farted
is
last time. Yeah.
Sitting on
This incredibly
step stool.
uncomfortable step stool. My back will be paying for it.
Well, thank you guys for making this happen. Thank you for listening to Surf Dudes with Attitude. Please like and subscribe. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Tell a friend about the show. Come back next week.
And they know what we say on this show.
Chili.
Boom! Googamoo!
This has been a Waning Moon production.